Good morning, all of you, and thank you for giving your time, sparing your valuable time for this Prowess session. And I hope I'm audible. Can anyone just confirm? My screen is visible.
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Okay, okay, fine. So, why Prowess database is important? And for academic institution, for especially for the research work, and what are the main feature tools, how you can extract the time series data. Will focus primarily on that, and I'll address all your queries in case if you have used the database in the past. So this year there has been a major change in the database. So those who have access Prowess in past, so there used to be an application platform which is to be installed on the desktop, and from desktop you need open that application and access it. This was the platform, like you have seen that in the past. But now if you try accessing this application, that will show you out of subscription because this application has been discontinued. Now we have a simple website based access, fully functional, and all the data which was there in the old Prowess, it's there in the new Prowess, which I'll be showing you. And there is a lot more things we have added. It's more user friendly than what you have seen in the past. Okay. Now, before going through Prowess, let me give you a brief intro about what CMI has been doing and what we are having over here. So Center for Monitoring Indian Economy, it's one of the leading information provider company which has started in the year 1976. And since then, we have been continuously monitoring Indian economy, different sectors, industries, companies' performance, and we provide solution for you to, use that data for your research work. Even a student can do projects and prepare themselves for placement. So we provide three kind of major solution, and the first of all, that solution is on companies database. And companies database solution, you have already the Prowess database, which I'll be demonstrating today, and addressing your queries on it. We do provide other solutions where economy database level, where you can find economy, socio-economy parameters, sectoral information, all the time series data, CMI analysis, market news are been organized, well organized at one place, which user can customize. So we provide a state level solution where state and district progress on different economic, socio-economic, and business parameters that you can evaluate. Industry wise, we do have 209 industries granular information. We have a tie up with all the industrial associations, and we tell that how that industry is performing today and how we expect that industry to perform in the upcoming years and quarters. And certainly, we have brought in some new things recently with respect to the household well being. And we have the consumer pyramid household survey. This is the record level data, and which is the data on a panel of 1,78,000, which CMI has surveyed from 2014 till now. So it's been more than 10 years since we have been surveying a panel of 1,78,000, and we capture their sentiments, we capture their income, their again expenses, their consumption patterns, their asset, their liabilities, and lot more basic information about their genders and other details. And this year we have launched about the belief and behavior. And belief and behavior is basically covering information on how a people's are behaving based upon the beliefs which they are having. Okay, so whatever social belief they are having, or economic belief they are having, on the basis of which we are checking their behavior throughout all those survey which we are doing. So these are the proprietary data which household well-being is covering actually. Now let me move to the Prowess database. So Prowess database, the new avatar of Prowess. It's Prowess on web, or simply if you visit the website, it's a complete web access portal. You will find, companies, over 1 lakh companies data under that. And the web link has also been changed. those who have visited earlier websites for accessing Prowess database, don't access it from the application. I'm repeating, don't access it from the application. It's a web portal service. Complete data using the same login credential by which you were accessing earlier. You can access it now. Okay. Now, the web link also I'm sharing in the chat box, so it can be easy for new users who those who want to explore the service. It's prowess.cmi.com, the new web link for the service. Now, uh, let's begin with the website part. And so those who are already using CMI Prowess, they can use the old login credential. But those who are new to this, they have never registered, they have never got their ID credentials. You can anytime register it from the Prowess website. So there is an option called login on the right side, and there is a register option. If you click on register, there is a short form which any user can fill, those who have not registered in the past. So you can write your email ID, confirm your email ID, use the LPU domain email ID, so we can authenticate you are the authentic user. And first name, I would say first name, last name over here, and a word verification which is there, and submit it. So just remember one thing while filling this form. So this form is only for those who have never used Prowess, those who have never created their credentials. And once you are filling this form, the username should be very unique. Okay. So username can be unique if you are writing like say Ajay, okay, underscore LPU, and there should not be any space. So AJAY like underscore LPU like that. So it could be one of the way, or it could be Ajay LPU, because it should be a unique username, and then you click on submit and your form gets submitted. Now, after submission of a form, you will receive your login credential by CMIE dot intimation. Okay, CMI dot intimation at the rate CMI.com. Or if in the past you have registered, you may find your login credential by p dot intimation at the rate CMI.com. So these are the two mails which you might have received in the past, or you will receive it after the registration. And once you receive that mail, there will be a user ID and the password for accessing this service. So in case if you do not find that mail in your inbox, check your spam folder. You may find it there. So that is all about the registration part. The portal has changed, the web link has changed, and we are there to begin with the new platform now. So is there any query relating to the registration and other part? I request participant to just mute themselves. And in case if you are having any query, I'll be happy to address that. Okay. Now, why Prowess is important? And because I have seen with the faculty members and the users, because there is also certainly a free source where you can get certain data from money control, or let's say screener. Now, why is Prowess is needed when such kind of platforms are available for you, which is freely accessible? Certainly they are having their own subscription, but there is a lot more available freely. And why Prowess is there. So for them, I would like to say that, see, Prowess is the only platform where you get largest number of companies in India, and we are covering overall 1,08,748 companies. Majorly, you find the data relating to the listed companies, which is publicly available. Although we cover all the listed companies, so this listed companies number are the listed companies which are listed on date today itself. These are the number of companies which are listed. So it may happen that a company may get delisted, listed on a day or two, but every day these numbers may, if there has been any listing, delisting, you may find the change in these numbers. Okay. But the good part of this platform is we cover over 1 lakh unlisted companies, the data which is not available in the public domain, and with those free sources. And the unlisted companies are playing a very crucial role when you are working in a particular industry. You want to see automobile companies, you want to compare automobile companies, you want to work on a steel industry, pharma industry, or banking sector industry, and you are doing certain kind of research work using those companies, so you will get a better sample size, and which can represent that industry if you are having a Prowess database in itself. So this is where Prowess plays a very important role. uh, there is one query in the chat. So how much time it will take to create the account, as I have registered but not received a mail? If the registration part is showing you that you have successfully submitted, you may find that mail in your inbox within couple of seconds. Otherwise, please check your spam folder, ma'am. You may find it there. And in case if you still do not find that, let me know. I'll, or you can use your alternate email ID if it is there, to check that whether you received that or not. Okay. Now, so we are there in the system. So query building is the always been a power of Prowess database, and where you can get the data on your requirements, whether you are working on any set of companies. Okay. Now, I'll make it sure, ma'am, your ID is to be checked. And if you have registered, you have not received, I'll just recheck that. And I'll make it sure that you'll receive your login credential. But in case you want to register, you can use your alternate email ID to check that whether you are receiving your, login credential or not. Okay. So we have two very simple things over here. First of all, one is for those who are first time beginning with the Prowess. So we have all the complete query building process where you can select companies, you can select certain industry, and you can get whatever data you want for how many years, 10, 15 years, on your set of indicators, on your set of conditions. Okay. For that, we'll be learning how query building can be done. And all the data which we'll be fetching is in the output OSC and worksheet. Then the third heading on the top is very important. And it is very important because it's one of the easiest way of finding out the data on listed or unlisted companies. And throughout the years, this report viewer has helped the beginners, and basically those who are looking for certainly two, three companies, five, six companies data. They want to see that how that companies has been performing, especially in case of students. Now, a report viewer allows you to search any company, and you can search any company over here. And even if I'm looking for, let's say, Axis Bank, and I click on search, I'll be able to find that company. I click on that company, I can see their one page profile, or say I want the data for 10 years. So I do have an executive summary report, and this gives you the data for by default 10 years. Okay, this is total income from 2015 until 2024. Now it gives you the bifurcation of total income, income from financial services, other incomes, and then their expenses categories, their PBDITA, PAT net of P&D, and again, the total liabilities, their net worth, their assets, their key ratios relating to the profitability, like operating ratios, and net profit ratios, return on net worth, efficiency ratios are also available. Now, this is just one report which gives you an overview on, which companies you are selecting, and you are getting decently those indicators information. But The one of the best part over here is you can change the observation range. Let's say you need a 10 years data to 15 years data. You change the observation range. You want the currency not in rupees. You want in crore, not in rupees crore. You want in rupees millions. You can change that. Okay, and you can reload this report. So the moment you reload the report, the currency also changes, the years, number of years also get changed. So it is now for 10 years to 2010 to 15 years data, and it is also showing you rupees in millions. Now, anytime you can download this data, there is export as Excel option which is available. Whichever report you feel that it is to be downloaded, you can click and download it in your system. And there are other very important options which are available over here is one is if you want to check how this company has been growing. So there is a growth in year on year GY report which gives you that every year by what percentage on which particular indicator the company is growing, and it also calculates compounded annual rate of growth. That is for 15 year it's 16%. Okay, and that is being done for all the indicators which were there in executive summary. Now, I want for a certain, I'm doing a research work. I want to make a 1 year as a base year. I want to check it for 5 year or 10 year or 15 year. That as per the, comparing it with the base year and setting a base year, how that company has been performing for upcoming and for those 10, 15 years. So there is a IY report. It's index report. Okay, it makes the last year as a base year. So 15th year data is there, and 15th year, last year is the 2010. It has made 2010 as a base year. All the numbers are in 100, and then you can compare on the basis of that how 14 years the company has been performing. If you want to change it for let's say you are just making the base year at the latest fifth year, you change the period to 5 and just reload that report. The latest fifth year will be made as a base year, which is 2020, and 4 year you can see how that company has been growing. Clear? Now,
Okay.
uh, so there is a peer comparison, although consolidated numbers are also there. If the company is having, subsidiaries, you may find consolidated numbers as well. Those companies, whether they belong to any of the industry, like it's in case of Axis Bank, if I click on Maruti Suzuki, I'll get the report for Maruti Suzuki. The more and more companies you select over here, if I select any third company, Infosys, you can switch to Infosys company, the report get changed. So it become pretty easy for any new user to just check, how company you can switch over the report here. Now, peer comparison gives you a liberty. Like if I pick a banking company, okay, and I want to see a peer comparison. So it gives you all the banks in that industry in one page, and like AU Small Finance, Airtel Payment Bank is there, Axis Bank is there, there is Bank of Baroda, Bank of India, and recently we have selected SBI, so it would be in the same list: IDBI, IFCI, SDFC, ICICI, and SBI would be there. So it's highlighted in the red color because we have selected it. And what are the indicators? Because it's a peer comparison, so it tells you that all these companies are banking services, and it also put a mark on which companies are having a deposit and advances high, which belong to a SBI group, and total income. Just please, I request participant to mute themselves because it may disturb other participants, those who are paying slightly attention on the session, please. Uh, we have these other indicators where a peer comparison default report shows you that you can compare it on total income, profit after tax, shareholders fund, paid up capital, equity capital, reserves and funds, deposits and borrowings, net worth and net fixed assets. So these are the by default 10, 15 indicators on the basis of which you can see all the companies in that industry, and you can compare with the latest data which is available. Okay, now we also calculate industry benchmark and peer benchmark. So
Sir,
industry benchmark,
Sudarshan,
yes, yes,
sir,
Nitinji.
in this particular group, we have shown all sort of banks. Can we have
Yeah.
a comparison like uh, public sector, private sector, individual? You have in
You,
your list, all banks are there. Can we
yes,
say, yeah, what is happening in public sector? What is
we do
private?
have that option,
Okay,
and that option is available, sir, in especially in case of query building option. I'll build
okay,
a query on the same criteria, showing you that whether those are the private banks with those are the public banks, and their ownership classification will be there.
yeah,
Even if you are comparing companies across different industries and you
okay,
want to check that which industry that company belongs to, you'll get all those information. You can compare companies in an industry and across industries. But query building will help you in knowing more, much better way that which companies are that.
okay. Please carry on.
Yes, sir. Like I could have shown you one more thing, which is peer benchmark over here. So I'll address both of that. So industry benchmarking shows you a 3 year benchmark for how that industry has been growing. Okay, like for 2023 it says that banking services industry income was growing by 19.7, whereas SBI income was growing by 18%. Whereas in 2024, again, it says that banking services 24% income se grow कर रही है, and whereas in 2024, SBI is growing by 26%. That is much better than the benchmark which has been set. Okay, that you can compare on income, expense indicators, profits, liabilities, deposits and borrowing, contingent liabilities, net worth, assets, and these categories are there. And at the end of the day, sheet, it also tells you that how many companies are part of that benchmark. So it's 110, 106. And why this is in the red color on the last 2025? Because 2025 result are still getting disclosed, and the data is being standardized. There are many, many, many companies. So it's just one company, State Bank of India, which has released as of now. So the benchmark will be more stronger the moment new companies for 2025 result will be disclosed. Okay, so it gives you certain understanding about how they are performing as compared to the industry benchmarking, whichever company you select. But peer benchmarking gives you a lot more advantage, and in terms of comparing with the set of specific companies, like I may have a comparison where I would like to compare SBI with just 5, 6 banks, which are the top-notch performing banks. Okay, and they are having deposits and advances high. So it says that SBI 26% से grow कर रही है in March 2024 year. Whereas if we see banking services, all companies they are growing by 24. This is a benchmark which has been set. But if I compare SBI with only those companies which are having deposit and advances high, means top-notch companies in the industry, it says they are growing by 26% and SBI is also growing by 26.2%. If I scroll it slightly more, I get more understanding again. It says that SBI group भी 26% से grow कर रहा है. You get this different kind of benchmark for different industries. It may be very different. Somewhere it could be exports इनका high है. Over here it's like deposited advances are high. Somewhere it's private sector, somewhere it's the public companies. So it gives you certain benchmark which are already been set by CMI, which helps you in doing a more comparative analysis using these data points. Now, I'll address one more thing over here. I'm picking one company like ACC Limited. Okay. Why I'm picking this company, I'll tell you. Um why Prowess helps in understanding and comparing the companies more correctly. So if I pick, let's say, Axis Bank, I want to see the data first. And the data could be just because 5 years, because we have selected 5 years over here. Now, every year, this company used to disclose and follow the December ending accounting period. Okay. And in 2023, they have changed their accounting period to March. Now, that is the first year when they changed their accounting period to March. So it's a disclosure of 15 month. Okay. Now, when you are comparing ACC Limited to all different companies, and one company is disclosing the material facts for 15 years, other company is disclosing the fact for 12 months, and some company could have been for 9 months. How you will be using that data? You need to standardize that data. You need to adjust that data, and for adjusting that data, there are inbuilt Prowess tools which will help you in doing that. Because if you are extracting the data for 10 years for hundreds of companies, you may not know that which company got the disclosure for 15 month, 12 month, and what so. But if you want to adjust that data in the report viewer itself, it is also available. In the query building also it is there. So we call it annualize. And if you click on analyze, okay, can you see this number? It's 2,53,000, okay, for this particular year. And the moment I reload, the number get changed. Reload, and the number get changed. So 2,53,000 or 52 was there. It's now 2,02,589. So it has adjusted the data for 12 months, but the disclosure is for 15 months. So this feature is also there when you go to the query builder, and when you're running a query under the financial statement and you're trying to adjust the data, you get analyze on off over here where you can work on multiple things, and you can just within a click of button you can select any of that. So I'll take you from the scratch. We are almost done with the report here. And is there any query which a faculty member is having with respect to whatever we have covered till now?
Yeah, I have a small query. I'm
Yes,
Dr.
please, sir.
Karpaswamy Ramanathan. Yeah, because I had an experience of using Orbis,
Okay.
which will be having built-in tools. Say, for example, I tried with merger and acquisition analysis to analyze the deal multiples, the benchmark options, everything inbuilt. Even in credit risk model, you'll find the
Okay.
predictive scores based on financial health and everything. We
Okay.
have such type of inbuilt tool, to get the final, analytical results.
So we are not having certain, although there is inbuilt, in Prowess, we do have
Okay.
those visualization options where you can draw charts, and you can see whatever data you are extracting. All those comparative charts can be drawn. But the way they are, or the other tools are there, I would not say that kind of customization would be there in analyzing that data. But you do have those options like the data can be extracted easily in CSV file, and CSV file can be directly uploaded to R or say Excel, and you can visualize it there.
Thank you.
Yeah. So in itself, if you're trying to just gauge an understanding to the data which is there, let's say I'm giving a short example. If I reload this data for 10 years and I want to just check the sales number, let's say this is a growth in year on year, and I'm drawing a line chart. This is year on year growth in sales for ACC, and I also want to check how profit after tax and line graph. This is how the sales and profit after tax, can be compared. You can compare any of those indicators which are there in the file, and the chart can be exported easily, and it seems in this fashion, when you use it for any of that. That is with respect to the fundamentals data which we are having, but we do have slightly more details relating to the stock market data. Let's say you want to check stock market report over here, and we do have charts where you can draw technical charts, and technical charts can be of closing Japanese candlestick, simple moving average, weighted moving average. If you want to draw that, you can set a period, how many years, again, you want to draw this chart. So like I want to draw it from 2000, let's say 22 January and January 1st for 3 years, and I want to submit it. So this is the technical chart section where you can draw and observe that. Even you can plot events, ex-dividend date, and you can submit. It may show you certain, whether those events are having any correlation with that or not. So this is dividend, ex-dividend date, are mentioned over here, quarterly result disclosure, annual meetings, and that. And these options are available, these charts options are available over here, but that option will get visible once you select the section where stock prices and security prices and indicators, any of these reports you click. Now, a very important, although we have certain, the coverage in the report where whatever you are seeing, everything you can extract through a query building option. But the overall coverage, I'll just brief you that we cover basic information about the company, whether the company is listed, unlisted, where it's located, registered office, corporate office, a detail is a snapshot on a company, that how that company has been performing. So it says that Axis Bank ranked third in the cement industry in terms of sales revenue. It says it's a large size company with how much revenue. It's a profitable company for last 24 years, ending March 2024. Its operating margin is 13%, net margin is 7% as per the latest data. Its debt equity ratio is very low, 0.022 times. And what is the borrowing pattern? So it's on every company we are writing a 250 word write up. If you change to Maruti Suzuki, it tells you Maruti Suzuki is first in the passenger car. If you change to Infosys, it tells you Infosys ranks second in the computer software, and it's profitable for past 33 years. So written in a very simplest language in the same fashion. And a report where else gives you the ownership, directors, promoters, trends, again, related party disclosures, bankers, auditors details, stock prices, dividend details, bulk and block deals, annual information relating to the income, balance sheet, cash flow is there, assets, financial ratios reports are separately being provided over here, profitability, liquidity, and distribution of expenses. Just I'm muting couple of users, and so there is very important section over here. Like some of you might be into HR domain or finance, and finance people can find all the thing relevant for them. But HR and marketing, if they want to explore, the very best option for them could be the trend in one is trend in equity ownership. Okay, where promoters, Indian promoters, HUF, foreign promoters, and FII holdings, and these details are there. You can check it in number of shares they are holding or percentage of share which they are holding. It also gives you more detail relating to those who are in, the major owners of the equity
Yeah, sorry for the
shareholders.
interruption, sir. Sir, I have a small
Yes, please.
thing. Okay, see, related to query building option only.
Yeah.
And we used to have the practice of use of cases, okay, in certain database. Okay, let me not mention the database name, and we will not be looking at these. Say, for example, to identify the acquisition targets in a specific industry or a geography, That's possible with the help of that one. Or, I
Uh,
want to visualize the multinational group structures. That's also possible. Do you have such kind of thing under query building option?
just sir, your voice is very low. Can I have one more time what you're saying?
Sir, it is related to query building option. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
In certain database, they have use of cases. Say, for
Okay.
example, I want to identify the acquisition targets in a specific industry or from a particular geographical area. Or I
Mm-hmm.
want to visualize the, multinational group structure entire thing. That's possible with a certain, databases. Is it possible with your, query building option?
In query building option, we do have options of comparing any groups. Like I want to compare Tata Group company. I can get Tata Group company in one. I can compare Aditya, your Birla Group into somewhere in the same sheet. We do have all those options where you can compare it with ownership group wise. You can compare it by industry and industry wise. You can compare it at the geographical location, like in a state, which companies are registered. I want all that in, let's say, Punjab region. Those who are registered in Punjab, their corporate office or let's say head office there is in Punjab. So such flexibility is there in the query building option. So the way Prowess has been designed, the powerful tools are there. None of the any other databases can match the kind of power which Prowess is having. I'll just demonstrate that, and I'll be needing just 5 more minutes in the report view section because
Yeah.
there
Sudarshan
is,
sir,
yeah.
actually here faculty members are busy in workshop mode also. So I request you to share the website and the recording, that's the link also, so that I can share with faculty members.
We'll be
At the
sharing recording, definitely, sir. And the session is
I
on
will pass
record.
out. Yeah, I will pass it on to my faculty members.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Sure.
Please help.
So those, I hope, sir, I have addressed. I'll be showing especially the query building section, how you can
Yes.
work on all those areas, please. So I'm going back. So we have that particular section where you can check major owners and those major owners, how much percentage they are holding shares in a particular company. Like it tells you that, these are the promoters and these are the percentage of, shares they are holding in a company. So in Infosys, all these are the persons, promoters and non-promoters, to what amount of shares they have been holding. And you can track other details like trend in directors remuneration, those who are dealing in remuneration and directors disclosure. And these are the directors, what is the amount of remuneration which they are receiving. If you want to check furthermore, there is composition of board of directors. Those who, from the HR domain, they may find it relevant where, non-independent, independent directors. What is the percentage of non-independent, independent? What is the percentage of non-executive and executive? This is what it is. And then further, it also gives you an understanding about promoters and non-promoters. So 100% promoters, these are the promoters details over here. And and there is one more thing addition to that, specifically for disclosure relating to the employee and the cost per thousand employee or profit per thousand employee, let's say. So we have this important report which we call at compensation to employees. Okay, under miscellaneous report, if I click on compensation to employees, it gives you an understanding about how much company is spending on compensation to employees, salaries, wages, benefits, staff welfare, and gratuity and superannuation, e-shops, and other details. If you scroll director remuneration and details, then we have, by the backend team have calculated on the basis of number of employee disclosure. Although you can also check employee retention by using it, the time series data, how many employees are there with the Infosys. But we have calculated per thousand employee what is the compensation is being paid per thousand employee, what is the income per thousand employee, what is PBDIT per thousand employee, what is profit before tax per thousand employee, And this is where this report could be very important for those who are from that HR domain. They may find it relevant. Now, there are very, very various important report like distribution of expenses. You can check that out of 100%, how much is being spent on, like I pick Maruti as in one example. Out of 100% of expense, operating expense is 92%. And if I see operating expense, under that there is a lot of chunk and again, if I see other information relating to like salary and distribution, selling and distribution, earlier in 2015 it was just 3% of operating expense. Now it has crossed 8% of operating. If I see marketing expense, it was not even 1% in 2015. In just 10 years now it has changed to 4.6%, which the company has been incurring. So certain reports, these will be important if even you guide students and give certain kind of assignment using it. That is the power over here. And we also track merger and acquisition details for the companies. So if there has been any merger and acquisition in the past, so you can get in 2015, Suzuki Motor Gujarat Private Limited has been merged with Maruti Suzuki, and there are investment project of the companies which CMI proprietary data, it is the here. So this is the proprietary data of CMI. It tells you that it in which particular location, what is the project which has been announced by the company, and what is the cost incurred by the company in that project, and what is the location, what is the capacity which will get produced if this project get completed. Okay, now there, it's not just the announced project which you will find over here. You get under implemented, announced, all that category which are active as of now. So these are the this will give an understanding where the company is likely to be headed. And of course, the interim financials are there. The business segment, from which product segment, what revenue the company has been generating. So this is again the Maruti Suzuki. It tells you that from scrap also the revenues coming, from automobile sales the revenues coming. The major chunk is from again passenger car category, and from passenger car category they are getting more 78% revenue from passenger car category out of total income. In Jeep category, how much revenue they are getting. In spares, die and modules, what the revenue they are having. All business category sources we have mentioned over here. So this is overall about the report view section. Now, how authentic the data is, you can always question that. But we do have that option to address your query in case whenever you are seeing the data under the these reports, you can anytime cross check these numbers from the source page of the annual report. Like if I'm mentioning over here, it's 1 lakh, it's again 15 lakh over here. Now the from where this 15 lakh number is coming, if I see for Maruti Suzuki, you can check it under the expression explorer, and expression explorer will help you in identifying that how this number, which is the total income, is being computed, and from which source page it has been picked. So at level 1 it shows that total income from continuing operation, including financial and discontinuing operation, gain and asset sales from that. If I check it at level 2, you have that granularity. It tells you that operating में sales की category है. There is other non financial services income. If I want to check furthermore third category, third level, I can check the granularity like industrial sales, and then there is a non-financial services income is 1,79,000. So if I click on this A sign over here, A, it tells you the page number from where the spares and parts is there, the number which I have clicked, and I can open that page. It gives you that kind of right in checking the annual page of your screen. So this is the the sheet which I have opened, and anytime you can, if I just open this over here also. So this is just a second. So this is the complete data sheet, and we were there exploring industrial sales, and so it is over here. And if I just check space, part, and details, this is the numbers which are mentioned over here. So it is just one page of the source file, which CMI helps you in tracking whether that data which is you are seeing in the report viewer is authentic, and it is for across any years. You can check whichever year you want to see, whether it's relating to PBDITA, whether it's relating to depreciation expenses. All these categories are there. You can check even the ratios from where the data has been picked. Now, when you are using the data for your research work, there is very important section over here which tells you that what is the definition when the data is being standardized. So when you are using that data for your research work, the data will the research will be more again accurate when you're using the standardized data from Prowess, because the indicators are standardized. The definition of that indicator is being mentioned over here, and that is available under the knowledge base section. So knowledge base section. This is the knowledge base section over here, and knowledge base section gives you that liberty. Database dictionary. If you click on database dictionary, over here you can search any indicator. Like I'm searching PBDITA, and I want to check how CMI has standardized PBDITA. So this is the complete definition of PBDITA, okay, and the formula how we have standardized it to make it more meaningful and reliable. And it is not that every indicator, because wherever the standardization is required, you may find the definition and formula. Where it's not required, it will give you the basic information. Like even if you are using the CSR data, and I say CSR, and you search it CSR, and it shows you CSR disclosure amount is spent on CSR activities during a year. I click that, it gives you the complete, account. It says Companies Act 2013, Section 135. What is the process? Which companies are mandated to, disclose their CSR details, and this is the information. Wherever it is there, this database dictionary will help you in writing methodology and framing your, details
Okay, sir.
for the indicators.
Okay.
Now, we are done with the report viewer. I've taken a
Sir,
huge
sorry
time.
to.
Yes, please.
So just you were talking about the knowledge base, no, sir. The CSR data as per the Companies Act.
Yeah.
Uh, so if I am interested to find out the CSR activities made by the different banks in India, so
Okay.
I have to trigger a query for the same.
So when you are needing a financial data, let's say just you want to check spending and unspent amount on CSR activities, for that you can run a query. Okay. But if you need a descriptive part to check that whether in description what are the things they have disclosed in the actual source file, although there could be a lot more quantitative data and qualitative data which is there in the source file, but what we are providing in the query building option, I'll show you right away, that in query building, when you are looking CSR data for all the companies, you have this CSR disclosure in the standardized annual financial, which gives you average net profit for last 3 years, CSR expenditure to be incurred as per Companies Act, amount spent on CSR activities during the year, and total CSR amount spent as on year, amount unspent pertaining to the current year. These are the 5 indicators which you'll find under CSR disclosure, which you can extract in one go for any number of companies. If you want more detail, let's say, again, a qualitative data, and you want to check whether any other activity they have mentioned in the CSR disclosure, for that you can anytime go to the report viewer section. And I was explaining about there is a extract, and under extract, if you are searching any company like Maruti Suzuki is one of that. Okay, we have already searched that, so I'll show you. If you scroll, do not download specifically our annual report, because it's 300 400 pages, but we have categorized 3 pages of directors, which will be just, in one click, you can get that. And there is especially CSR activities report is also there. Those who are working on employee remuneration, 2 3 pages of the annual report will give you an understanding for that. Management discussion and analysis report is there. Corporate governance and CSR. So it is their CSR activity. If I open this report and I open that over here, this is just, this is a complete report, CSR report of Maruti Suzuki, annexed a brief outline on CSR policy of the company. And here you can get a lot more what they have been doing in and out for the CSR. Is it clear, sir?
Yeah, fine, sir. So actually, I
Yes.
was trying to make how we are going to run the query regarding that. Like, if we had to find out the investment made by the banks in India over the years in the CSR activities.
Okay, so let's say CSR activities, if I consider that, first of all, a user need to go to Query Builder, and then whether you have your specific list of companies. If you are having your specific list of companies, you can use select company from a file, and you can even upload it over here. Otherwise, searching a company by name is one of the simplest process, but you do get other options of finding out the company by CIN code, because certainly sometime when you search a company, you know it by name, but whether that name is the registered name or not, we are not sure about that. So if you are sure about the company's registered name, you can anytime type a keyword like I was typing Axis or I was typing SBI. But even if I search SBI, there are many companies which are starting with the SBI. Make it sure that you are searching the right company. If you are having a SIN code is one of the unique name which the companies is having, that would be the better option of searching a company individually by name. And in case if you're working on an industry, let's say I'll select things over here. One is I'm searching, let's say banking services. Okay. I've selected banking companies. I selected banking companies. The industry has been selected over here. And I'm saying I need all these banking services company which are there in Prowess, and out of 1 lakh company it will identify. So I'm selecting my domain all companies. That's why out of all company 1 lakh company it will find out only banking. My destination is OSC, which will select, which will provide you the data under the second heading on the top, OSC in worksheet, and executing it by send to new SC. I click on send to new SC. The banking companies, again goes to the output sheet.
Sudarshan sir, request you to kindly refer.
Okay. I'll just run 2 queries and hardly take 5 more
Sure.
minutes for that.
You can take the faculty question or any sort of discussion. Okay, sir.
Sure,
And
definitely.
please share the link with me. I will give us. I
So
will write.
we
Yeah.
have, yes, we will be doing that, sir. Once this session ends, I'll be sharing the
Sure.
details, but it may
Sure.
take a day or so, sir.
No problem. No problem.
Okay. So one list we have taken it for banking industry. Second, I'm taking for BSE Sensex because there are companies across the industries. I'm sending that day, again executing it by send to new SC. The list of companies will go to my output sheet, and output sheet I can see it from this blink, the blink on my left side. So it shows me that I have all these banking companies list, which is 272. The second list is of these companies which are 30 BSE Sensex companies. Now, if I want to add data for these 30 BSE Sensex companies, let's say you are saying how much they are spending in CSR activities. I go to standardized annual financial statements. Whichever list is the latest one, it will add the data on that. Whichever sheet you want to add the data, so you simply need to, what you need to do, your current sheet is this, where 30 companies are there because it's been highlighted in the blue color. If you want to add the data in the same sheet, go to standardize annual and say, I want total amount spent in CSR. I also want like total income of the company. I want profit after tax. I want other information like says assets and liabilities, total assets, total liabilities. Okay. I want other details like financial ratios or current ratio. Okay. And I search it. There is a quick ratio, current ratio, and there is also asset turnover ratios, working capital ratios. I'll select return on capital employed and details. Okay, return on, and I'm searching return on. So return on net worth, which is return on equity, return on capital employed, return on capital employed has been selected. So these 8 indicators I have selected. You can search any of that. So there is a list of 3 to 4,000 indicators which are there in the annual report in here. And once you are done, so it shows you standalone by default, but you want consolidated, you can select consolidated as well. Now, how many years data you want? Let's say you want the data for 2015 onwards. So you can type it 2015 03 without any hyphen. That shows you March ending financial year dash 2024 03. Okay. So the date format which I'm writing it under query on date, this particular section. And if you are having a slightly doubt on how to write a date format, there is a question mark available over here which tells you what is the date format which will be you can write in the box. I have used this fourth format 2012-03-2015-03. It gives me all the data and even 1 year data if even it is available for the company. Okay. So any 10 in these 10 years, even if the data is available for 1 year, you'll get that data. And I'm changing my domain not, to companies in current policy because I have those 30 companies. I'm not sticking to all companies because it will give me, otherwise, it will give me 1 lakh companies data on these 8 indicators. I'm changing my domain to companies in current OSC and adding the data in the same sheet OSC section and simply saying add data to OSC. That is all. So when I selected the list of companies like banking or BSE Sensex, I was searching all those companies out of all companies. So I selected my domain at that time, all company. But when I have already exported my list of companies to the output sheet, at that time I want to add the data to the same sheet. So it's companies in the current OSC, the domain need to be changed. Once the domain is changed, executed, add data to OSC, and just wait for a few more seconds. You'll get the data for those companies. So this is CSR amount spent for the companies. All these are the 30 companies, how much they have spent. Okay. This is the details, income in rupees millions, 2015, 16, 17, 18. All the data is there under the sheets and you can export it as Excel CSV. The file is being downloaded. Clear? Uh, there is a couple of queries which has been posted in the chat box. Krisha ma'am, I hope you know V, GY, and IY is clear to you. V stand for value in rupees crores and millions. GY stand for growth. IY stand for index report. And I'll reset your password, Jim sir. I'll reset your password, and by the day today itself, you'll get your new password for accessing Prowess. And in case if you want to search your inbox, if your ID is already registered, any of the user, you can search your inbox by p.intimation@cmi.com or cmie.intimation@cmi.com. So both by both email ID, any of that, you may have received your login credentials. So future segments, you are saying how to get the data from future segments. Okay, so one thing is there are ready-made predefined sets how to select the set over here. And you can put a condition even where you want to find out only those MSME companies which satisfy your criteria of, let's say, 1 crore to 2.5 crore, or 5 crore to 10 crores, which are having plant and machinery investment, which are having a in total income of between your turnover between this much to this much. That kind of condition you can put under the financial statement when you are over here. And you, if you are selecting total income, this range to helps you in searching what range you are writing. So it is in rupees crores if you change the currency. So one means 1 crore, and if you type it 10, that means 1 to 10 crore, you are finding out the companies which are having a revenue. If you put indicators like debt to equity, one shows you 1 unit, not in crores, it's 1 unit, because debt equity will be in units in that case. You can put certain condition, you will get only those companies which satisfy your conditions. So that possibility is there, and there is a lot more into advanced section where you can frame your own formula, Z score, Altman again, that is also possible. And even like I have framed my own over here, user Z score, where if you want to check, you can frame your own formula using Prowess database. I want to show you, even if you want to edit your expression, it shows you that how we have calculated the z-score. This complete formula has been derived over here. So anytime, feel free to reach out to me if you want to create your own set of conditions you want to for your research work. We are there to help you out with that. I'll address that query which was posted in the C clarification relating to future segments. And there is select company in the predefined, and if I type it over here, it says BSC future companies. Okay, the set is there. And if I check it for NSC, there is NSC permitted companies, and NSC future companies are also available over here. NSC optionals are there, BSC optionals are there. So these category, if you select that set, you will get that again list of companies. Once you get that list of companies in the similar fashion, like I'm selecting BSC Sensex, NSC future. Out of all companies I'm searching it, I'll send to new SC. My list of NSC future companies will be sent to the output sheet. And then I want, let's say, stock prices details, stock prices or dividend details. I can go to stock prices, and I can select there's a opening, closing, highest, lowest, or I want adjusted opening, adjusted high, adjusted low. These indicators are readily available over here. Even market cap, earning per share, PE, PB, industry PE is also available. Certainly, enterprise value and market cap, these are all available over here. But remember one thing, when you are extracting the data into the output sheet, the sheet which I'm showing you right now, any sheet in the output sheet or worksheet shows you that you have a limit in one sheet of 400 columns and 60,000 rows. Okay. One sheet is having a limit of 400 column and 60,000 rows. So while extracting the data, please take it carefully that when you're extracting this standardized, let's say, annual financial data, and you're writing a date over here, and you are looking for 20 years data from 2000, let's say, to 2024, and you are selecting 20 of indicators, and the option could have been, if you select this particular, we have a column limit of 400. If you select OSC, the column time, that is 20 year, and indicator also, let's say, 2020 2400, and then one column will be for company's name. It will cross your the data limit in that particular sheet. And in that case, what you should do is first extract 10 years data, then extract 10 years data, then you will get the easily the data. Otherwise, it may bounce your query. So once you will start running query, you will understand that what is the limit in a particular sheet when you are extracting the data. But rows limit is pretty good. That is 60,000. So carefully choose WS OSC, which section you should use, what will be there in rows, what will be there in column, what will be there in sub column. So it may suit your criteria, how in which format you want to extract the data, and may also not exceed the limit on a particular sheet for data extraction. I hope that is clear.
Yes, sir. Can you also just let us know about the index? If I just need to calculate the futures for Nifty 50, how would it be possible?
See, over here, what you can get is the index which are there and how those indexes are performing. Means the tick on tick data will not be available, first of all. The second thing is we do have that section where indexes, if you're just working on indexes, so index, you can see select in indices by name. So you can select particular index over here, okay? And in that index also you get other options like say whether you want the index numbers, that what is the market cap of that index, okay, opening, closing, highest, lowest, whether it's BSE or relating to NSE future segment index, okay. That index performance will be there, not the companies in which index, like BSE Sensex are having 30 companies, and in those 30 companies, if I want to see the performance, I'll select my set from predefined. But if I'm seeing BSE Sensex कैसे grow कर रहा है, for that I'll go to indices. I'll select index, particular index, that is BSE Sensex. I'll send that index to my output sheet by selecting it. Once I have sent BSE Sensex, I'll go to index numbers. I'll select index constituents like say market cap कितना चल रहा है BSE Sensex का, what is BSE Sensex PE, PB and yield, and then I'll get information for how many years or days which I select from here. If you are looking for certainly more details, like say
Hi, data is not. Futures का data नहीं है.
डायरेक्ट फ्यूचर्स का डेटा, अगर आप फ्यूचर एंड ऑप्शन एफ एंड ओ का बोलेंगे तो वो डेटा आपको नहीं मिलेगा। बट इंडेक्स में कौन कंपनीज हैं फ्यूचर की और ऑप्शन की, वो कंपनीज की लिस्ट आपको मिल जाएगी, उन कंपनीज का हिस्टोरिकल डेटा आपको मिल जाएगा, फंडामेंटल्स मिलेंगे, और वो इंडेक्स कैसे परफॉर्म कर रहा है वो डिटेल्स आपको मिल जाएंगी। दैट इज विच इज अवेलेबल। एक चीज और आपके पास आती है which is there, that in case their companies are changing name over a period of time, if you want to track that how many companies has changed over a period of time the company's name, companies credit rating का भी डेटा यहाँ पर होगा, क्रिसिल इकरा, if you are looking for merger acquisition investment projects, credit rating का डेटा भी यहाँ पर आपको मिल जाएगा। It says credit rating. You can get the credit rating whether the company has been downgraded, upgraded, reaffirmed, initial rating है क्या है। आप किसी भी कंपनी की लिस्ट को आउटपुट शीट में अपलोड कीजिए एंड गेट क्रेडिट रेटिंग इन्फॉर्मेशन। यहाँ पर आपके पास इसके अलावा देर इज सर्टेन मोर, इफ यू वांट टू सी इंडेक्स कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट्स, ओके, सो देर इज इंडेक्स कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट्स डेटा विच इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। सर्टेनली कई बार ऐसा होता है कि इस कंपनी में इस इंडेक्स में कितनी कंपनीज है, हाउ मच स्टेक दे आर हैविंग इन दैट पर्टिकुलर इंडेक्स। यू कैन चेक दोज कंपनीज लाइक इन बीएसई सेंसेक्स में कितनी कंपनीज, कितना कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट्स हैं, चेंज इन इंडेक्स कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट, कौन कौन सी कंपनीज इस इंडेक्स से बाहर गई है, अंदर आई है। यू कैन ऑल्सो चेक इंडेक्स कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट्स डेटा बाय लुकिंग एट पेड अप शेयर्स, फ्री फ्लोटिंग कंपनीज वेट्स, किस कंपनी का कितना वेट है इंडेक्स में, एंड देन ओवर अ पीरियड फॉर लास्ट 10 years इफ बीएसई सेंसेक्स कंपनीज और बीएसई 500 कंपनीज में कितनी कंपनी मूव इन मूव्ड आउट हुई है वो आप पूरा ट्रैक कर सकते हैं। दैट इज पॉसिबल। एनीथिंग एल्स?
Sir, can you show us once, like how can I track, like if in the last 10 years, how many changes are being there in Nifty 50?
Okay. So the easiest way could be like I want to check index constituents BSC Sensex. ठीक है, आपको कैसे करना है? Changes in index constituents BSC Sensex, and I say I'm looking at BSC 200 index. ठीक है, 200 index. This is 200. I'm saying in last D, it's D15 means 15 days. I'm saying D is 720 days, let's say. In last 720 days, how many companies are there which have been the part of it, have executed this query? It's simply which company you are selecting, you are checking current constituents which are there, BSE Sensex में कौन कौन से हैं, और you are checking the changes in the index constituents. So changes कितने आए हैं, so you may get to know that which companies have been moved in or out of that index. Can you see this? It is the list of 219 companies, and we have selected just one index which is BSE 200. इसमें 19 कंपनीज और हैं जो कि मूव्ड इन और आउट हुई हैं. तो एपीएल अपोलो ट्यूब इन 2023 इंक्लूडेड ऑन 7th month 2023, एंड कब तक ये है इस कंपनी में, इस इंडेक्स में ये अभी तक है. विच कंपनी हैज बीन रिमूव्ड? आदित्य बिरला फैशन एंड रिटेल 2016 में इंक्लूड हो गई थी. 2016 में. इट इज गिविंग यू द डेट व्हेन इट वाज एडेड, एंड देन इट हैज लेफ्ट इन दिस पर्टिकुलर पीरियड. आपके यहाँ पर इस ड्यूरेशन में ये है ही नहीं.
Fine.
फाइन, क्लियर
Fine.
रोहित?
Fine. Yes. 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 Thank
ओके
you.
ओके फाइन. या एनीथिंग एल्स?
Sir, I have one question. Is it possible to find out the total number of projects, like road projects, as per the state-wise in India from the last 10 years? Like, I want to find out the growth. Is it possible to find out by using this CMI data pros?
We do have, sir, we do have that database where you can track any investment project, whether it's relating to infrastructure construction or it's relating to any small project, even expansion of a project like Maruti Suzuki का अगर plant already है, उसमें अगर expansion कर रहा है 100, let's say capacity का, you will get to know that. But एक चीज आपको ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा, which companies are there into the road infrastructure construction, okay? So if you are looking for, there is a separate database where you can monitor investment project in India. Our database is known by the name of CAPEX. You can explore that from here. So it's a CAPEX database. It gives you investment project details on over 1 lakh investment project in India. और ये स्टेट और डिस्ट्रिक्ट और पर्टिकुलर लोकेशन, जोग्राफिकल लोकेशन की आपको लैट लॉन्ग भी देता है. बट प्रोवेस में अगर आप इसी से देखना चाहते हैं क्या है, so there is a capital expenditure project. I'm clicking on that. If you know, so it's industry category. इंडस्ट्री में इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर कंस्ट्रक्शन एज सच डायरेक्टली नहीं है, बट यहाँ पर आप कंस्ट्रक्शन एंड रियल एस्टेट है. कंस्ट्रक्शन रियल एस्टेट में यहाँ पर हाउसिंग एंड कॉमर्शियल्स है, यहाँ पर इंडस्ट्रियल कंस्ट्रक्शंस हैं. इस तरीके की कंस्ट्रक्शन कैटेगरीज हमारे पास है. आप बोलेंगे कि मुझे रियल एस्टेट का देखना है, आप बोलेंगे मुझे माइनिंग का देखना है, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग का देखना है, इन इंडस्ट्रीज में किन कंपनीज ने कौन कौन से प्रोजेक्ट हैं, अंडर इम्प्लीमेंटेड है, अनाउंस्ड है, कितनी कॉस्टिंग है, वो आपको पता लग जाएगा. बट इसमें रोड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पे काम कितनी कर रही हैं, ये आपको आइडेंटिफाई करना पड़ेगा. दैट इज योर टास्क, सर.
Yeah,
हेलो.
thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir, for handling my queries. Thank you very much.
ओके, वेलकम सर. So you need to identify that whether in real estate there are estate industry. You check the list of companies. आपको इंडस्ट्री से भी मिल जाएगा, यहाँ से भी आप चेक कर सकते हैं. Once you select like say रियल एस्टेट पे मुझे ये चाहिए, ये चाहिए, ये चाहिए, and you simply execute it. You simply execute it. तो select WS because WS में कंपनीज स्टेटस और प्रोजेक्ट की डिटेल पूरी आ रही है. यहाँ पर ब्लैंक है तो ये मत सेलेक्ट करना. WS ऑप्शन सेलेक्ट किया, and then you say send to new AC. So you'll get all the investment projects which are there in housing construction, commercial complexes. If you are looking for infrastructure construction के लिए मैं separate आपके लिए run कर रहा हूँ, which is there. and I'm sending it even here. Infrastructure construction वाला भी मैंने output में share कर दिया है. So you can get a complete list of infrastructure construction. So if you click over here, the query is under process, and it shows you that which queries you have run in past. Anytime you want to execute this query again, select these checkbox and download it. आपकी पास्ट क्वेरीज का डेटा भी डाउनलोड आप कभी भी कर सकते हैं, बट करेंटली अभी हमने ये डेटा नहीं देखा है कैपेक्स का, एंड दिस ऑल्सो, एंड वी आर गोइंग टू सी फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल द डेटा विच वाज हाउसिंग एंड रिलेटेड वाला. तो इसमें आप यहाँ से इसको कभी भी रिफ्रेश कर सकते हैं. तो ये आपका प्रोजेक्ट डेटा आ गया है.
Sir, I have small queries, sir. Yeah.
Yes, sir, please.
Sir, this is something, from the consultancy perspective, because
Okay.
we are also doing some of the, industry-oriented consultancy and
Okay.
other things. Say, for example, there are some inbuilt tools are available, credit risk tools and other thing. Okay, it'll be giving a credit, risk scoring, everything. So
Okay.
we have such type of provision to generate uh, scoring for industry, maybe
Yes, sir, we
ranking.
do have, sir.
Okay.
And but Prowess database may not give exactly the risk and data
Okay.
score.
Okay. Okay.
But in case if any time in you would have certain time, so you can explore industry outlook service. Industry outlook is a service, unique service, which tells you, and I'll show you the risk score, how any company we are mapping and evaluating that slightly to give you an understanding of it. So like this is a platform which gives you 209 industries performance, 209 industries performance. You can pick and choose any industry. Like if I'm saying transport, automobile, I click on automobile. And the moment I click on automobile and I want, let's say, to check commercial or passenger vehicle, I check passenger vehicle. I check passenger vehicle, there is a risk score. The nicher you go into an industry, the risk score, demand and supply, market, investments in industry, quarterly, annually, industry, how the industry has been performing, overview on industry, gives you all thorough study about that. Risk score, if I click, it says overall industry risk is 7, moderately low. And then risk score has been calculated on production consumption. It's we have rated it on a scale of 1 to 10, 5. Import threat, it's 10. 10 is very, very low. Okay. Where it's high, its export dependency is very high. It's high actually, not very high. And in cyclicity, it's there high, moderately high in profitability. Efficiency में very low है, solvency में भी low है, liquidity में low है. This is the kind of category which we are having for calculating the risk score. But this database access as of now is not there at LPU. But if you feel that this kind of platform we would like to introduce to your campus, where such kind of investment related details or say industry wise, our company is doing a lot more things, sir, and we are there to help you out. I hope this is helpful. And I'll just wind up with this. And before closing it, we have already, this is the investment project details, which the project cost and new and sub expansion, which company, what is the project name, which company is part of that project. It's a child industry, project industry name, and which company is part. There was one more thing which we have seen under the data part over here, which was process the data we have seen in the investment project. But anytime, if you need any support from the Prowess team, I'm there to help you out. I'm sharing my contact details in the chat box. My name is Darshan Negi, and our office is in Delhi. And I regularly visits Chandigarh and nearby location. I'll be visiting to your institution soon. And I'm sharing my contact details. It's 705-3500-109. In case if you need any help, you can contact me. And in case if you need any expert support, you can post your query online. And we do have that seek clarification in the website itself. So seek clarification where you can, ask about what is the data definition and formula for the indicator which you are using. If you are facing any operational issue, you can ask about that. If you're not finding any data for a company specific, even if you're not finding any company, you can ask about that. Simply need to write your message over here. And once you write your message, you can post your query. So within 2-3 hours, your query will be addressed. You will get an inbox mail if you're using your own login credential. In your mail alert, you will get that. And rest, we do have a directory of all the companies which are there in India. So the 20, again, I would say 20 lakh companies in India, their directory is also available. By PIN code, you can search which companies are liquidated, dissolved, active. All that directory is also available. For internal purposes, like you are approaching any companies, their contact details and email IDs. This could be a very important tool for them as well. And extract data accelerating feature API modeling is inbuilt. You can read out by the document relating to it, and we will be there to help you out. We have recently added query result today, and query result today has been very innovative. It gives you every day how many companies are satisfying these conditions. So who are the top gainer, top loser is very common nowadays. But as per the interim result, which companies have outperformed, and there is a turnaround in the profit. So it says out of the latest quarter, 260 companies are there, which we have identified, which have turned around in profit, and in last quarter they were negative. So all of them were negative in December quarter. In March, all of them are positive. Okay, similar fashion, which companies you want to find out where the FI holding has significantly changed. It identify out of Nifty 50, 500, NSE F&O say, and NSE F&O say 49 company it has identified out of 182 companies which has significant change in the FII holding, and data is ready-madely being provided over here. You can export to Excel. These are the ready-made queries which are already there. The data is there. It tells you number of companies which satisfy to that condition. Even rating से related कितना upgrade downgrade हुआ है. And last but not the least, there is a popular stock screening strategy over here. Those who are teaching portfolio management and stock market, you can see there is a Benjamin Graham 7-step stock selection process, Peter Lynch slow grower process. If we follow this strategy of 7-step Benjamin Grams, there are 33 companies which we have identified, and this is actually a defensive investors process. It says Benjamin Graham 7-step stock selection criteria for defensive investor. It tells you the step which has been taken into consideration for selecting these stock, like consistent profit for last 10 years, uninterrupted dividend for past 20 years, and then the stock has been selected, and we have identified 33 companies out of all the listed companies, and these are ITC, City Union Bank, and this the data is ready-madely available. You can click and download it. So this could be very important for a student. If you guide a student for doing certain project, I think that would be remarkable. So that is all from the Prowess database, and we have a lot more things which I was not having that much of time, because it's a simple session today. We are not going overboard and advanced to it, but the basic tools and the overall data coverage, I hope I have addressed all of your queries with respect to that. And we'll keep on organizing such kind of sessions. Please let us know anytime whenever you feel that support is to be needed from CMI Prowess team. Thank you, everyone. And it's a last minute call. Is there any query from any of the participants? Otherwise, we are going to end this session now.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you for giving your precious time on Saturday. See you soon. Okay, bye.